Australian Paper is Australia's principal manufacturer of quality communication, packaging, printing and writing papers. Each year a team of over 1,400 staff manufacture and distribute around 1 million tonnes of pulp and paper products, including some of the most iconic brands in the world. Office papers, packaging papers, printing and publishing, specialty and security papers. In fact, the company produces more than 2,000 different grades of paper for a diverse customer base across Australia and abroad.
Paper has played a vital role in the civilization of mankind. Without paper, it's hard to imagine how the great advances in science, social freedoms and the arts could have progressed. Australian Paper continues to build on this tradition, finding new ways to protect our environment and operate sustainably. Our customers, industry partners, and community interest groups want assurance that what we do is based on meeting the needs of the present without compromising the future, and that we share common goals in establishing enduring, sustainable practices. As a member of the Nippon Paper Group, we continue to invest heavily in our people, systems, and technologies that yield a competitive advantage, while at the same time creating positive benefits for customers, employees, investors, and the environment. The end result really is some very clever paper.
Though many technical advances have affected the quality of paper, papermaking itself is a fairly simple process, using natural materials to make fully recyclable products. The papermaking process has 4 key stages: sourcing the fibre, processing fibre into pulp, mixing pulp and additives before pressing and drying to form paper, and finishing. Firstly, let's look at how paper fibres are sourced from wood products. Unlike oil, iron ore, coal or gas, wood is a sustainable resource with very low carbon emission. Fibrous raw materials used in the papermaking process are sourced from 3 main categories: sawmill residue from the housing and furniture industries, waste paper recovered from curbside collection or purchased from industrial recycling operators, and from certified forest sources supplying eucalypt and pine wood products, which are replaced by more than twice the amount of seedlings each year. Pine yields long fibres required for packaging grades, and eucalypt a shorter fibre necessary for high-quality print and photocopying papers. The raw materials are prepared for the cooking process, which uses chemicals and heat to rearrange the fibres into pulp, which is treated further according to the type of paper to be produced. With brown paper, the colour comes from a substance called lignin, a natural binder that holds the fibres together. Lignin is removed by a chemical cooking process using white liquor, a solution of caustic soda and sodium sulfate. Each batch is cooked for around 3 hours at 175 degrees Celsius. The brown pulp produced is known as unbleached kraft chemical pulp and is ideal for high-strength packaging papers. Kraft, in fact, is the German word for strength. When waste paper is used as the raw material, water is added to form a pulp from which staples, binders and other impurities are removed through a screening process. For white papers, the pulp is then whitened by elemental chlorine-free bleaches. Australian Paper's Maryvale Mill is a world leader in techniques that produce the high brightness and whiteness demanded of modern office copy papers, and other high-level uses such as envelopes, forms and offset sheets for general printing, while minimizing the use of chlorine-based compounds. To make paper, the newly formed pulp is pumped to the paper-making machines, where a process of forming, pressing and drying is used. To form paper, the pulp flows onto a continuously moving plastic mesh screen. Pressing is the process where water is extracted from the pulp. And finally, drying is where the sheet moves onto a series of drying rollers. This is high-quality reflex office paper destined for markets throughout Australia and New Zealand. Another 30-ton roll is produced, all without the need for the machine to stop or even slow down. Quality consistency is vital. Here, regular samples from the production line face critical tests for fibre orientation, roughness, strength, moisture content, and brightness. The paper is then cut down and wound onto smaller reels before being dispatched for finishing. The produced reels are managed by the marketing and sales arm of Australian Paper, Australian Office. Australian Office combines the efficiency and flexibility of modern manufacturing facilities with experienced and dedicated sales teams to provide its many customers unsurpassed quality and value. The range of products and the speed at which they can be ordered, processed and delivered gives customers a service that their businesses can rely on. With Australian Paper's expert technical staff, products can be developed to suit specific end-use applications. Paper for high-strength packaging products, high-quality printing papers used across a diverse range of publications, and specifically from our Shoalhaven mill, specialty papers, including registered watermarks, sensitized security grades, coloured, embossed, and a broad range of fine writing papers. Australian Paper continues to add to the growing stable of leading brand quality products that are already known and trusted. Australian Paper continually looks for ways to streamline manufacturing processes to give customers an unparalleled level of service in the fulfillment of their orders. Sales offices across Australia and New Zealand have full access to production and scheduling, accurately coordinating production and shipment delivery times. Having sales and manufacturing as a highly integrated process enables Australian Paper to ship even the largest order to any destination within a very tight time frame. Another 38 tonnes of reflex ultra-white heads off for distribution. It will be one of 70 loads of office, printing and packaging papers that will leave the Maryvale mill in a 24-hour period. While this shipment of brown papers, one of over 8,000 containers shipped each year, is destined for customers overseas. Australian Paper's overseas sales are expertly managed by the Paper Products Marketing Group. PPM offices, located around the globe, coordinate shipment of approximately 150,000 tonnes of paper each year to more than 100 ports located in 65 countries. It is an important part of the overall worldwide sales of more than 8 million tonnes of paper produced by the Nippon Paper Group each year. Careful management of energy, water and fibre resources allows the pulp and paper industry to be inherently sustainable. The Maryvale mill, for instance, is the largest industrial producer of renewable power in Victoria, producing more than 50% of its own energy needs. Lignin is used as a fuel to produce steam, which in turn generates power. This lime kiln recovers white liquor components for reuse in the pulping process, and water, which is used in just about every step, is continually recycled. Australian Paper is continually investing in better ways to utilise this precious resource and is at the forefront of water conservation initiatives. An example is the relationship with the Gippsland Water Factory, a wastewater treatment and recycling system approximately 2 kilometres from the Maryvale Mill. Approximately 15% of the daily industrial water used at Maryvale is purchased recycled water. It's just one of the many initiatives which will lower the use of resources used to produce each tonne of paper. Australian Paper strives to develop practices which have a positive effect on the social, economic and environmental outcomes for our communities, as well as enabling new opportunities for growth and security. This commitment is reflected in the company achieving ISO 14001 and Forestry Chain of Custody FSC and PEFC certification. On a manufacturing level, this means that once on site, no input material is wasted. Fibres are used to make paper, lignin is extracted to generate renewable energy, bark, sawdust and any process waste no longer goes to landfill but is recycled into garden products, and even the water in the trees, 50% of the tree by weight, is used to transport and clean fibres in the paper making process before being recycled internally many times over. Over 80,000 tonnes per annum of recycled paper pulp is used, with plans in place to do even more. Australian Paper leads the way in sustainable product development too, having produced Australia's first government-certified carbon-neutral paper. And finally, Australian Paper has a long history of valuing and contributing positive benefits to local communities directly through employment, skills training and safety awareness.
Australian Paper has already enjoyed over 70 years of production, largely due to the careful management of previous generations. Our position as a member of the Nippon Paper Group secures a new opportunity to be globally competitive and fully supported by one of the largest paper-producing companies in the world. With clever improvements in fiber sourcing policies, cutting-edge technologies allowing extraction of maximum value from resources, and new and better products, we're confident that we'll be able to hand over a valued asset to generations that follow.